Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining on time. This is the third session out of 12 complimentary sessions. I hope you have been doing the homework for the last two sessions. If not, homework, because whatever you are learning today, learning in this session, you can also find them on like other YouTube channels. The reason you are attending these sessions is that you will do the homework, of course, and you get live grammar, live German language sessions, as of course. So let us start. If you have any questions, feel free to ask at any point. Okay, don't wait till the last moment. So agenda you have already seen because I had shared this in the group yesterday. So yeah, no need to go over the agenda. Disclaimer you all know. To-dos for absolute beginners. This was not the. I think it was in the agenda. Yes. So by now we have covered the German alphabets. So you should be able. So what do I mean that you should learn the German alphabets? Let's say you call any help desk in Germany, call center, or whatever else, right? They will ask for your name, they will ask for your street address, and a few other things. Guys, my name is Rohit. It has only two syllables, but even now I have to pronounce spell my name. So I'm saying my name is simple. Even then I have to I have to say o ha he te. So what I'm saying is that you will have to know the alphabets. Okay, so how you can practice this, whenever you are walking, you are standing at a cross section. So I believe you leave your house at least once in a day, then you will be seeing the street signs, right? This is that road, this is that road. Just try to spell the name of that street in your head. Play this mental game. German numbers will do that today. So before we do that, let's do a quick recap. So, can someone very quickly tell me how can you greet someone different ways? So, you can start from the morning till the evening and what all ratings you can use. Anyone feels like doing this? Please raise your hand. So, I want you to tell me if you meet someone in the morning, what will you say? If you meet someone at night, what will you say? If you meet someone in the canteen, what will you say? Anyone? Please raise your hand. If yeah, Hardik, go ahead, please.
Yes. So, in if it is in the morning, then I'll say Guten Morgen,
Yeah,
then Guten Tag,
yeah.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, yes, in the evening, yes, yeah.
Yes, and at the night will be Gute Nacht.
Guten Nacht is not a greeting, right? It's kind of something you say when you take leave from someone, right? Let's say if I call you, you
Mm-hmm.
will not start with Guten Nacht, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
what will
Okay.
you say if we meet each other in office canteen? Let's say we are colleagues.
Then
Mahlzeit.
yeah,
Outside, yeah.
like
The
Malzeit or maybe also like Servos. Hello.
Servus, you can also say service is also hello, right? I think it's used in Bayern area. You can also use it over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
else? What else can you think of?
Moin
Uh,
Moin.
Moin Moin. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hardik. Now, I think you will raise your hand. Do you mind telling me different ways you can take leave from someone? What can you say? That's what the name I see.
Yes, sure. So different ways of taking leave. First could be saying simply ciao.
Yeah,
We could say auf Wiedersehen.
yeah.
We could say tschüss. We could say schönen Tag, schönen Abend.
It's
Yeah, that's
Shonen
it.
Tag to be correct. We'll talk about this later. It's Shonen Tag
Yeah,
and
schön.
Schönes Abend. S. There is
Yes.
so if I have to tell you exactly why we'll learn that in A2, higher level A2 or B1 beginner level, it's shown as an adjective, and you actually say,
Okay.
I wish you a good evening. So ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag. And Tag is masculine, that's why it is Shonen. Abend is like Neutrum, that's why it is S. We'll talk about this later, but for now, just learn it as it is. Like for example, it's Guten Morgen and Gute Nacht. You don't say Guten Morgen and you don't say Guten Nacht, right? You
Mhm.
like so. What else?
And auf Wiederhören.
Yes. What else?
That's all I could recall.
Okay. Anyone else feels like talking?
Bis später.
Bis später. Yes. Then continue. Complete all the best ones, guys. Please.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, like bis bald, bis
Bis bald.
gleich,
Yeah.
bis nachher,
Yeah.
and bis Montag,
Yes.
Dienstag, and yeah.
Okay. Hardik, can you give me the weekdays like from Monday to Friday?
Montag,
Hmm?
uh, Dienstag,
Yes.
uh, now I'm thinking.
No problem. Think.
Um,
It's fine.
uh,
Something with me. Okay, let's the Rishabh. I will not let you answer. Because I know you are already good at it. I will ask you difficult questions. Okay, I hope you don't mind. You can continue.
Okay, so it's Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch, Donnerstag,
mit-
Freitag, Samstag, Sonntag.
Okay, thank you very much. Rishabh, can you tell me how do I say a day after tomorrow, day before yesterday, yesterday, and be tomorrow?
Yeah, uh, like day after tomorrow is Morgan.
Nah, that
A
is
day
tomorrow.
after
Morgan is tomorrow. What is day after tomorrow?
day after tomorrow.
Ah, Morgan.
Yeah. You told us. Morgan.
Okay, yesterday
Yesterday was Geston. And day before yesterday.
for for guessing.
For Geston. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Rishabh, try to go to higher levels now. You have done the basics. Like, try to just push the limit a little bit. Okay. Uh,
Oh,
all right. Thank you very much. Now, can someone frame? So I mean, I don't know how to ask this question. So just tell me very quickly what. So I know you learned last week the grammar. Like the how to frame a sentence and how to frame a question and like how to frame a W kind of question, how to frame a yes or no kind of question. Again, when you are talking, the rules. You can just forget about the rules. But in exam, you have to be careful with the rules, right? So can just someone it's very. You just have to tell me like where the verb is in a sentence and where the verb is in a W kind of question, where the verb is in a yes or no kind of question, and you have to tell me where the subject or W word will be. Anyone feels like answering? Please raise your hand. Yes, please. The
In a sentence or rather a statement, the verb comes in the second place. And in the W kind of question or a yes or no, the ones that we did last time, the verb would take the first place.
okay,
And also in the W kind of question, uh, we was marked. Yeah, second position
second position
was marked.
in a
Yeah.
statement. Tell me this is the so in a statement you said the verb is at the second position. That means the first position is it reserved by the subject? Like is the subject always at the first position in a statement?
Yes, majority cases, unless and until I remember you said it is either like if it is replaced, those could be some situations or other cases, but majority of the times, yes.
Yeah. So it's like in normally if there is nothing else, it's a subject. But let's say if there is a time factor, like Morgan, you were
Yeah.
Morgan at this time, then it is like that. Okay. Now this is the statement structure. Like you have at the second position the verb and the first position normally the subject. And if it is, please keep answering. Adi. So if the first position is taken by something else, let's say the first position is taken by Gaston, where will the subject go?
Mm.
It has to go
Okay,
somewhere.
I'm just trying to frame a sentence to figure this out. It will go at the end.
No, I will let Manjusa answer because she has been raising her hand for quite some time.
Yeah, it will go in the third position.
Your
First is
answer
the
is
something,
you are
then
correct, but you should not say third position. You should say like after the verb.
after the verb. Yeah, first will be the Montag, then or a gesture, then verb, then subject.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's say Manjusha is my boss and she tells me, Rohit, did you finish the report? Right? Like hast du den Report fertig geschrieben? Now, like, and if I want to say I am working on it or I am doing it, like grammar says, I should say ich mache das, okay, or ich mache, I am doing. But in real life, I will just say mach ich. So I will place the verb at the first position and then the subject. Don't do this in exam, they may cut your marks, but in real life that's how people talk. So they will not focus on uh, this exact grammar, what I'm teaching right now. And they are not wrong, they are not wrong. It's just that there is something called as Hochdeutsch and there is something called as, Umgangssprache. And for you, the verb is at the second position. Okay, just telling you. But in real life, it may be different. Let's talk about personal pronomen. So, who feels like playing this game with me? I will give you the situation, and you have to tell me what is the pronoun. Yeah, you can play, no problem. So, how do I say he,
Er,
she?
sie,
How do I say it?
es,
How do I say they? Like they.
ihr. No, no, no. They. Um, ihr, sie, sie. I
Is it?
think it's ihr.
No,
Sie.
ear is, let's say if I'm talking to you and Manjusha at the same time, and let's say I know you are my colleagues and I don't have to be formal with you, then I will say ear. Okay.
Okay.
And let's say you and Manjusha, I happen to like have a call with you today for the first time, and you are going to interview me for a job in your company. Then which pronoun I should use for you both?
Sie.
C, capital S, C. Okay,
Capital S.
capital S, C. Let's say I'm talking just to you, and I also want to be formal with you. Manjusha, for example, did not join the call for the interview today. What pronoun should I use for you?
Again, Z with a capital S.
Yes, but in the interview, it's very obvious. It happens like So, like my German teacher taught me that whenever you meet someone for the first time, you have to start with Z, and the other person has to let you know. Okay, you don't have to be so formal. You can just refer to me as tu. Then we can switch to do. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, I think we covered that. That's all right. So let's talk about to count from 0 to 10. We'll do this numbers part today. Okay, give me 1 second. I will have to we'll learn to count from 0 to 10. I mean, we'll learn to count from actually. I will have to unshare my screen for 10 seconds because I need to get that file. Just bear with me for 10 seconds. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please ask.
I have a question, though it's not
Yes,
directly related to the lessons.
no problem. Please ask.
I do want to understand from you or probably others how to convince recruiters here that you're learning the language and you will be there someday, so that at least you get to the interview point.
Certification. I mean, if you are not in Germany, and if I'm right now in Germany, the only way for me to confirm there are two ways is that I talk to you in German, which I don't know if you feel like doing. The other way is that you throw certification at my face. So,
Okay.
but others can maybe help you. This is my understanding. So let's start. Let me share my screen again. If anyone feels like answering, please ask, guys. Don't take my word as the final word. Okay. Okay. So I think the screen is visible. Thank you. So today, let's say, maybe I will tell you my salary. So today, when you learn something, you have to know exactly, you don't have to learn everything. When you learn German, you don't have to learn everything. You don't have to be able to talk about forests and climate change and I don't know, everything in German. If you can talk about your specific field of expertise in German, that's enough. Okay. The same comes to numbers. You don't have to learn to count till billion. I hope someday you are rich enough so that you have to count to billion or trillion. But for now, if you can count just to your salary or maybe to your portfolio, that should be enough. I don't, I mean, so if you can talk to your count till your salary, that is enough. So let's see how you can learn to count from 0 to my salary and to your salary in German language. So we will start. Let me, yes, so when you start, you have to start with the basics, right? You start to learn from 0 to 12. So anything that you do, you have to memorize few things, and then you can use logic and rules to figure out the other things, right? So so for example, when you learn from 1 to, you have to learn from 0 to 12 in English as well, right? And then let's say if you want to count 112, you know that you can divide 12, like you can separate 12 and you can separate 100, and then you can say 100 and then you can say 12, right? So, can someone read from here till here for me? Anyone? Let's. Yeah, I will give Manjusha a chance because she has not spoken so much.
Null
That's fine. You
eins,
are next on, Fari. Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Thank you, Manjusha. Maybe Dee can read also one time just for practice.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. Anyone else wanted to read that? I heard one more voice. I did not see who was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rishabh, go ahead.
Ja. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Let's continue. So this is, I mean, if there is someone in the call who wants me to tell you how to pronounce these things, because I can tell you, but it's very easy to learn and very difficult to teach. What do I mean by this? When you learn numbers, no one, told you, right? One, you have to say v and then n and then one. You just learn to say it, right? So just learn to say it. Okay. If you still have questions, please ask. Uh, so what I want you to focus now, if you say six, it is zex. Okay. So there is s at the end. If you say seven, you say sieben. There is n at the end. Please focus on these two things, and then because this is important. Let's say you want to count, from 13 to 19. Okay, don't try to read, just listen to me. If you want to count from 13 to 19, you can use the simple rule. You can separate, now don't ask me, why did you write 3 plus n and not 10 plus 3? Just accept it, okay? How? So 13, you write 3 and then you write 10, and then you say what 3 is, that is dry, and then you tell me what 10 is, that is zehn, dry, zehn, okay? If you want to say 14, so you write 4 and 10. 4 is vier, 10 is 14. So can someone read from here to here? Someone, let me see if I can force someone else to read. Yeah, Hardik, you can read, please.
Uh, yes. So it is a 13, 14,
No, 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 not E, A, sane.
13. Ja.
Yeah.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, I like the way you're reading, you're trying to pronounce it. Please do it in the beginning. That's very good. So, if you notice, so Hardik was smart enough to figure out that I have crossed, like I wrote 16, so it is 6 and 10. So, it's 6 is, if I go back, if I go back, 6 is actually Zex, right? But Hardik was smart enough to go for the bottom one, Zesh Zain. Okay, this is an exception you have to remember. Like there are two exceptions for 16 and 17. Also for 17, it is not Zeeben Zain, it is just Zeeb Zain. But in real life, if you end up saying Zeeben Zain, people will just smile at you. They will find it very very cute that you are trying to learn German. Don't worry, you can do it. But I don't think anyone does this mistake because it's so obvious. Okay, so 16 best. I mean, so if you don't know how to count from 1 to 12, you can count from 13 to 19. Let's continue. We have, because we have to reach my salary. So you can use a similar rule to count. Let's say the rule that you used over here. So 13. So you wrote 3 and then 10, and then you just set the numbers as it is. If you want to say 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, there are four exceptions, but it's not that difficult to remember. Okay, let's start from 20. If you want to say 20, let's say if you want to say 40, so you say 4, and for 4 it is fear, and for 10 you say 40. You know what I'm saying? So 50, 5, 6. This does not mean that null means 0 means sich. It does not mean that. Okay. So it's something like 20, 30. So 20, 30, 40, 30, something like that. Who feels like reading from here to here? Let me. Yeah, Hardik, you can. No problem.
Yeah. So it is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Uh,
Perfect. Yeah.
one question. So like can we pronounce this as a 90 as well,
You
or
can,
it is?
you can. So it depends where you live. Actually, it
Mhm.
not. It, for example, where I live, some of my teachers actually said Swansea, and some of the teachers in the same
Mhm.
classroom said Swansea. So it depends.
Mhm.
It depends.
Okay, but like both are right then.
Both are right. In exam, both are right. Yeah. But I will
Okay.
go with
Mhm.
Zig because that's what I learned in my in my Goethe Institute. Yeah. But
Mhm.
both are right. Both are right. Be careful here with the 30. It is not Z. It is this S set. Okay. That's why it is Dreissig. Sir. Okay. It's not Dreissig. It is Dreissig. Dreissig. Sir. Again, it's not a big deal. If you wake me up from sleep at 4 a.m. in the morning, I may actually write I may write actually this as Dreizig because it's also not that obvious to me. When I'm saying it's obvious, but when I'm writing, it's not obvious. Uh, any more questions? So there are four exceptions. I mean, 20, so 60 and 70 are obvious. It is not Zexish, it is Zeshzish, and this or that's Zig. And 70, it is not Siebensish, it is Siebensig or Sieben, or Siebsish or Siebsig. Okay. For 30, just remember this one. Okay. Few exceptions here and there. What I wanted to say, I forgot. Now, in your head, just check what your age is. Okay, because now because I think no one in this call is below 20. I hope so. So now you will learn how you can tell what your age is. So let's continue. Now you learn to count from 1 to 12, then you learn to count from 13 to 19, then you learn to say 20, 30, 40, and till 90, right? Now let me say, how will you say 31? uh, so if you want to say 31, remember this rule. You write, let's say if you want to say 56, focus on this purple box. So you write 50 and 6, and then actually I should have written the other way around, 6 and 50. So you say whatever 6 is. So 6 is sechs and 50 is 50. So sechs und 50. One more time. If you want to say 56, you write 6 and 50. You say whatever 6 is, and then you say whatever 50 is. And then you add the word und. Und means and. Okay, and sechs und 50. So if you want to say 32, you will say 2 and 30. So 2 is zwei, and 30 is 30. Okay. Sometimes, not sometimes, quite often you will hear, if you live in my city, people will not say zwei, they will say zwo. They will say Z V O. It's but in exam go with zwei. Anyone feels like reading? Anyone who has not spoken so far? Gauri Shankar Patnaik, do you feel like reading? Okay. Dev. Yeah, Manjusha, you can read, no problem.
31, 32, 33, 33, sorry, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
Okay. uh, Here, Manjusha was smart enough to figure out that, like this is an exception. So if you want to say 31, you should say 1. The 1 is eins, und 30, that is 30. But this is an exception. So 31, whenever it is like blah blah 1, 1 you say as 1 and not eins. And this will also apply for 51. Manjusha, can you tell me how do I say 51?
41,
No, 51, 5.
sorry, 51.
Right? So if she's saying ein und 50, so it is, she did not say eins und 50, she said ein. Yes, yes. I hope you don't mind if I call you Gauri. Yeah, Gauri, you can read.
Yeah, I skipped that part, so I forgot.
Okay, no problem. So you can maybe help me in the next part. So here,
Sure.
so you learned to count from 1 to 12, then you learned to count from 12 to 19, then you learned how to say 20, 30 till 90, then you also learned, Gauri, can you tell me how do I say 99, Gauri?
99 should be Nie und Music.
No, it is. So I think you did not attend the first session. That was a pronunciation. So whenever you have a o, so n, so 99 will be this one. So whenever you have
Neun und.
it is oi, oi, euro, neun,
Yeah.
neun
Neun und Music.
again neun, not noon, neun.
Okay. Neun und 90.
No, no, 90. Okay, that's correct. So you can count till any number. Now you can just take a pause and in your head figure out what your age is. In German. So also now let's see if we can count hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400. It's very easy. Just ask yourself how many hundreds. 100, 100, 200, 200. So Gauri, you can read from here to here.
100, 200, 300,
No, no, no,
400,
no, no, no,
500,
no, 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 not English. It's hundred, not hundred. Hundred.
100.
Yeah. you know so German is a phonetic language.
100,
You have to read exactly as it is written. So 200.
100,
Yeah.
200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900.
Okay, also the exception of one applies here as well. You don't say 100, you say 100. Okay, in exam be careful. In real life people will just look at you and smile if you say 100, but in exam they will cut your marks. So uh, if now you know how to count 900, let's see if we can continue. Let's say, how do you say, like, you learned how to, let's see if you can read three-digit numbers. So let's say if you want to read 101. So Gauri, can you read this for me here?
101.
Okay, so 101, you write 101. And then Gauri, can you read this one for me, this here?
110.
Okay, so 1 on 0, you write 110. Can you read this for me?
140.
Okay, and this one?
155.
No, slowly read the, don't read every word, please.
165.
Okay, so what, so if you notice, it's very easy to understand. What I have done is that you just try to separate, that number into smaller parts, but not very small parts. You just separate into those parts which you already know. So 110, I know how to say 100 and I know how to say 10. 101, I know how to say 100 and I know how to say 1. 140, I know how to say 100 and I know how to say 40. You will say, okay, I will do it. I will, for example, I mean, how other else can you separate this 140, right? I mean, there are only two ways, 100 and 40. you know uh, 165. Anyone in this class, I don't expect you to know this, but if you know, I will be very happy. How do I say this? How do I read this equation? Again, it's not important in real life unless you have a kid and you have to teach your kid mathematics in German. How do I read? In English, I will read 110 is equal to 100 plus 10. How do I read this in German as it is? So you have to tell me, how do I say equal to and how do I say plus? Again, it's not relevant for exam, but just maybe somewhere down the line, 5 years, when you have a kid.
Plus could be plus.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the easy
Okay.
part. Now comes equal.
Yeah.
Um, hmm, keine Ahnung. No.
How do I say same? How do you say same? How do you say
Gleich.
same? Sorry?
Gleich.
Gleich.
Gleich. Yeah.
Gleich.
Yeah. 100 ist gleich 100 plus same.
Ah, okay.
Okay. How do I say, let's I don't know. Again, it's not relevant, guys, but it's Monday. I'm really excited. So let's play this game. How do I say, uh if I want to write, okay, just you have to imagine, okay, now if I want to say 100 is equal to 10 times 10, how do I say this? 100 is equal to 10 times 10. How do I say times?
Mal,
Mal. Okay, so mal.
Mhm.
So Rishabh, can you
same, mal, same.
yeah, Zehn mal zehn, so it is mal. How do I say
Yeah.
10 is 10, 100 divided by 10? Or 10 is 100 by 10? By douche. Okay? 100 douche, zehn. Okay? How do I say square root of 4 is equal to 2? How do I say square root? Anyone knows the word for root in German? Again, you may think that, okay, why are you asking this? You are supposed to teach, but my job is to, push you in the right direction, that you start, learning vocabulary on your own. So it should bother you that you don't know how to say square root. Anyone?
Uh,
Yeah.
is it something with
Yeah. Woo,
Wurzel
woo.
or something?
Wurzel.
Wurzel.
Yeah. Wurzel 4 is zwei. Wurzel.
Wurzel
Yeah.
4.
Square root.
Mhm.
Again, it's not
Square
relevant.
root may be quadrate with Z.
Sorry?
Square root may be quadrate with Z.
No, no, you just say Wurzel. That's it. That's it. You just say Wurzel. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I did not learn this in my German classroom, but when I was doing my master's and I was preparing for an exam with some friends, and then there I learned, because I was talking to them in German, and that's where I learned again. So, uh, again, you may need this, you may not need this, but let's not digress. Let's continue. So you
Oh,
now can
sorry,
count. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat what is the word for equal to?
it's gleich, G-L-A-I-C-H, gleich,
GLAE
I-C-H.
Seha. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, just like English, you don't always say 101 or 100. You just say 101, right? So you will see that in exam, please say the entire word, don't go for shortcuts. But in real life, people may just say 110, 165, 101, 140. Actually, I have done that over here. I forgot to write 100. Okay, so just telling you, real life is much more easier than exam. So let's talk about how to, now you can count till. Can someone, Kishore, can you tell me how do I read 999, three nines?
Yeah. 900, 99-ish.
Perfect. So we can count till there. Let's see if we can learn to count from 1000 to 9000. Okay, not exactly, but like not two, but how you can say like 1000 to 1000. Again, just ask yourself. For hundreds, you asked how many hundreds. Here you have to ask how many thousands. So, Kishore, can you read from here to here?
Yeah, sure. 1000, 2000,
Again, read the first
3000,
part again. Read the first cell again, please.
1000,
Okay.
2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, 9000.
Okay. uh, in real life, sometimes you will see that people don't actually, normally you have to, focus on the derp sound at the end, but quite often they will not focus. They will not emphasize that the part. It's fine. In exam, you should do that. So it's very obvious, just ignore the, for here you have to be careful. Don't say 1000, say 1000. Okay. Uh, so, you can, if you can if I can count till 1000 till 9000, actually I can count. How do I say 100,000, Kishore? How do I say 100,000, like, one? How do I say 100,000, like 1 lakh?
Uh, it should be 100,000.
Correct. You can actually count till 100,000, right? So you can actually now count till 100,000, right? So you can actually count to, like, we can. So we can actually, you could count till 100,000 now. You just have to remember how many thousand, uh, but I don't have to actually count till 100,000, because so far my salary has not reached that point. I hope it does very soon, but it has not reached that point, so I don't have to go after 100,000. But let's say if you still have to do, it's still you have to do. So what is the next number after 100,000, like, normally that we think of?
Million.
Million, right? So million is, like, so it's obvious that is, 10 times 100,000. After that, what do you have?
A billion?
Billion. But in German, we don't say billion, we say Milliarde. Okay, people will say billion. People will say billion, because very often people use in German they will use the English word as it is. But I think the correct way to say it is milliard. But again, you don't have to worry about it. Uh, I mean, the last time I heard this number in real life when I was working on a project, and my boss, not my boss, but someone in the team said, we kind of reduced the price of this project by, this many millions. So I have so far heard only up to million in my real life. Again, so you don't have to count it. I hope you do someday, but so that's all. So uh, uh, someone very quickly, let me see if someone who has not spoken. I think Gauri, no problem. You can read these three numbers for me if you don't mind.
1001,
Yeah.
1011, 1111.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. I think we are done with numbers. If some of you are still waiting for my salary, so how do I read this number? Again, let's see if someone else feels like reading who has not spoken so far. Devendra, do you mind? Devendra Krishnan?
Yeah, hi. This is
Yes. Please read
Fear
this.
Sound.
Here, this one.
Yeah, yeah. It's Fear Wund, Fear 6500.
There is more.
Zwei
Okay, so it's a very big number, right? But you can read, just
Yeah.
divide that into small pieces. I think I created this report, I think 6 months ago, and that was the time when if you want to get a blue card in Germany, this was the salary needed. Uh, and then, Devendra, please also read this number for me.
58.400.
Okay, so this was the salary needed for, so the this one was for, like, for professionals which are scarcity in Germany, and this one was for in general. So, in Germany, just a fun fact: no one talks about their salary unless and until it's a very smooth closed group. Even in closed groups, people don't talk about salary. So just so you know, uh, if in a social gathering, if people start talking about salary, you will see that Germans kind of leave that specific part of the room because it's not. Yeah, that's how it is. So let's continue. We covered the numbers part, so now you know how to count from zero, and you can count from zero to your salary. Let's talk about, I think we'll skip this part. Let's talk about something which is important and also not so important, depending on where you are in your journey in German language learning. So we'll try to learn articles, So in English, you have the, then you have a, and then you have no. If you say he is the man, he is a man, he is no man. So no is also an article. If used in the right way. You also have the same things in German, but because German is such a beautiful language, they have figured out an article for every situation, for every gender, for every kind of pronoun. So that's the good part about German language, so that you can be very specific. So, and uh, let's ignore this slide. So so there are three articles basically in German language, and many of you, I believe some of you, or many of you, happen to be from South Asia, if I'm not wrong, from India. In India, there are languages. In some languages, you have only two genders. For example, if I know in Tamil, they have only, if I'm not wrong, they have only two genders, right? There is masculine, feminine. There is nothing called as neutrum. I mean, when you talk about things, So when you talk about things, but let's say if you talk about other languages, Marathi, there you have. Okay, I'm not sure about Marathi. Do we have? I think we have only two. Yes, yeah. But in German, you have three. Okay, so there, so you have masculine, then you have feminine, then you have neutral. Plural is not a gender, it's just that whenever one of these is in plural, more than one, you call it plural. So you have masculine, feminine, neutral. Many of you already know this, so that's not important. What is important is that, let me go one step back and let me create a slide over here. So a sentence in German, So last week we learned normally you have subject, then you will have verb, and then you may or may not have an object. Okay. Now subject can be a noun or it can be a pronoun. Okay. If it's a pronoun, life is easy. You can just use that pronoun. If it's a noun, okay, if it's a noun, so noun can be the name of a person, right? Noun can be the name of a person, noun can be the name of an object. But noun can also be noun. You know what I mean by noun? For example, if I say Rohit, or let's say if I go with, you know, uh, uh, let's go with Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein is a noun. Okay. Now, if I want to go with, if I want to say, not a good example, but if let's say if I want to go with refrigerator, what not refrigerator, if I want to say with go with presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, so that is, if I want to say presentation is good, your essay is good. Okay. Now if I also want to use, and this is a sentence, right? So if I say subject, then I have verb, and then here object is kind of, it's an adjective. Okay, so object can be anything. It can be, so now this noun I can also add an article, right? I can say the presentation. If I want to say the, I can say there, the, or das. But of course, I cannot say all three of that. I have to answer what is the gender of presentation. And in German language, anything which ends with tion is considered to be feminine, and that's why we have the. Okay, so this is why you need to know articles. Okay, uh, yes, this is why you need to know articles. Let's continue. Any questions? What I just tried to. So why do you need to art? Where do these articles come into picture? So let's go here. I have written over here OR, LENG, EG, NAR, SMOS, ICH, ANT, EST. These are endings. So one thing which people complain about all the time, even after living for 7 8 years in Germany, they will say, ah man, it's so difficult to figure out, like German articles, like there are three genders. No, it's not. If you know everybody who comes to live in Germany, or like who wants to learn German, has seen a slide which looks like this. And if you had just looked at the slide for 1 month continuously every day, this endings would have been fixed in your head. you know and and then it should not be that difficult for you to figure out articles. Now of course you will say, it's difficult to remember, this ORLENG. All you have to do is, whenever you see uh, whenever you see this any word with OR, okay, you know that it is masculine, and then you remember that word. Let me, if I just told, the example that I gave you, I told you that anything which ends with tion is feminine. Next time you see, and now you know that, now if you know that tion is this, any word ending with tion is feminine, and you remember this example presentation. Now you remember presentation itself is feminine. And next time, so that the sound of tion, next time you hear any other noun ending with tion, your brain will tell you it's feminine. It's feminine. That's how you remember. So I will not waste so much time. Here are the endings. Let's look at examples. By the way, just heads up. So this call, because it's a free account, the call cannot go on for more than 1 hour. So if the call ends, I'm speaking and the call ends, don't worry. I will post the link in the group for the next session, like, to join again. So please join using that link. I'll post it in the group. Just a heads up. And I may need 1 minute to post the link in the group. So let's continue. Here are some examples of nouns which happen to be masculine. So you will use the article there for them. Anyone feels like reading, like from here to here for me? I think, do you want to read? If you are still in the call,
Sure.
yeah, go,
Yep.
please, from here to here.
Um, so we would be pronounced as F again.
No, here, whenever it is, no, here it is ve.
Okay. Ventilator,
No, ventilator.
Tractor.
Ah,
Ah.
yeah,
Ventilator.
yeah,
Ventilator. Factor. Schmetterling.
yeah.
Frühling. König. König. Yonish. No, sorry, my bad. Kyonish. Honish. Kaifish.
A. So whenever you see this A
A.
umlaut, you read it like A of air. You know how do you say air in English? Just say air without the R part. A.
A.
A fish.
Cafish.
Yeah, or can you say
Cafish.
or gay? Up to you. Yeah.
Cafig. Ezek. Optimism. Optimismus.
Optimismus. No. Optimismus.
Opti. Optimismus. Mus.
Not you.
Optimismus.
Who? Optimismus.
Optimismus. Capitalismus.
No, please read as it is.
Capital.
Capitalismus.
Capital.
Capitalismus. Yeah.
Capitalimus. Capitalimus.
Not capital. It is lismus. Capitalismus.
Capitalismus.
What do you think it means?
Capital of something.
No, capitalist. Capitalism. You know. So the
Capitalism.
world is capitalist. Yeah. Continue.
Sarca. Sarcasmus.
What do you think it means?
Sarcasm.
Yeah, of course.
Tepish. Bearish.
No, not Beige.
Bearish.
Beige.
Bearish. Elephant. Liferant. Diamond.
Not diamond.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, A. Diamond. Artist. Specialist. Frisor. Frisor.
Frisor. Okay, this is, I think it's a French word. So it is, you should say it like
Fri-
frisor.
Frisor.
I'm not sure if it's French, but I'm guessing. But that's how you say it, frisor. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Frisor.
yeah.
Ingenieur.
You
Ingenieur.
can also say it like engineer, but you can also say engineer. It's up to you, you know.
Ingenieur.
Yeah.
Actionnaire.
Actionnaire.
Actionnaire. Actionnaire. Informaticaire. Politicaire. Technicaire.
So this is sure Techniker. Or one thing, thank you very
Technicaire.
much for reading. You know, one thing I want to tell you, whenever you see the alphabet R or R at the end of a word in German, normally, okay, okay, depending on where you live, but normally in Hochdeutsch, it is not emphasized. So, you know, it's, for example, I will not say ventilator, I will just say ventilator, factor. I will not emphasize that R at the end. If you do it, it's not a problem. Many people do it. But if you don't do it, it's Hochdeutsch. Okay. Now, because you read, please very quickly give me the meanings. And if you cannot give the meaning, please let me know so that others can, you know, what is this?
Ventilator.
Yeah.
Or just simply, yeah.
Fan, right? You know, this one.
Factor.
Yeah. Factor.
Grocery.
No, butterfly.
Butterfly. Breakfast.
Anyone else knows
Through
what feeling means?
English.
Spring, spring.
Spring.
Oh, yeah, spring, my bad.
Again, before we continue, you know, if you are feeling that, you know, like these words are irrelevant for my life, I completely agree with you. But I had to, you know, come up with the reason we are doing exercise is that, you know, the words ending with or, words ending with ling, words ending with ig, smus. These are the examples, you know. So don't forget why we are doing this exercise. You know, many of
Yeah.
these words are not relevant for my life. You know, so but okay, please continue. So meaning, please.
I'm not aware of either four of them.
Okay, anyone else?
Astonishment. I mean, I think
It's king.
Devendra, yes.
Wonder
Rishabh,
means
your voice is very low. I cannot. I mean, I can hear you, but not exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It's
Devendra,
king. Conic,
Cake.
conic. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Honey,
yeah.
cafe. I don't know, but essig is vinegar.
Yes, Kefik, if you go to a zoo, where are the animals kept? Which is very sad.
It's a cage.
Cage.
Age.
Yeah. Next one.
Okay.
It's obvious, right? Next three, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah. Next two, please.
not aware.
So if you are, in the hall, you have a sofa, and just, for example, if the sofa is L-shaped, you will have something on the floor. What is that thing?
Carpet,
Yeah.
tepish.
Yeah. Barrage. Anyone knows barrage?
Area.
Area. Area, range, whatever. Continue, please.
Elephant,
Yes.
liferant, I am not aware.
If you order something online, Lieferant
That's
is the guy who
online.
delivers, not delivery.
Okay.
Diamond,
Delivery person.
yeah, Diamond is obvious. Diamond. Artist,
Artist, a specialized person, specialist.
yeah, specialist, a specialist, specialist. But artist is not a German word. I don't know why I did this. You can say artist, but there is a specific German word for artist. Anyone knows? Anyone knows?
Mailer or model.
Kunstler.
Künstler. Künstler.
Kunstler.
Yeah. Uh, uh, it's, yeah, Fruzo. Anyone?
Hairdresser.
Yeah. Next one, engineer is obvious. Actionnaire. Anyone? We all have this friend say,
Offer.
buy Bitcoin. Yeah. Sorry, Narendra. Yeah.
It's offer.
No, no, no. Uh, the guy who, if you want to buy a stock, you have to buy it from.
Broker.
Yeah. So even I'm not. I think it is stock broker. I just check. I don't know why I use this example. Just want to tell you that anything ending with a umlaut air, it is masculine. Just check again. Informatica, politica, technica. I think it's obvious, right? So let's continue. So anyone again, now again, this exercise may seem very boring. It's very boring for me, but we have to do this exercise because after 10 years, if you tell me and Rohit, I don't know how to. It's difficult for me to figure out genders of nouns. I will tell you this slide. I will show you this recording, so it's not my mistake. So anyone, Narendra, do you feel like reading from here to here? Narendra,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
yes, go ahead.
Rehum,
No, sure, Reshnu.
Reshnum, okay. Endlum,
Read everything.
Eldum.
Read everything. Everything.
Okay.
Slowly. Ein, La,
Endlum,
Tung.
Einladung. Okay. And what is that?
Just break it and read it. Break it in parts.
Yeah. Bidung,
No, break it. So break it in three syllables. Be, di, nung. Bedinung.
Bedinung, Berse. What is that?
Break it. Break it. Don't worry. Relax, relax. Break it into parts.
Yeah, Ber S.
Be-
Bersnum,
Bereshnung.
Bereshnum, and Dekung.
Yeah.
What is that?
Ung.
Kung, okay.
And dek.
And Dekung,
Yeah,
and
very good.
Dekung,
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
Erfarung,
correct.
Zetung,
Zeitung.
Zeitung, Empfes,
Empfehlung.
Empfehlung,
Empfehlung. Empfehlung.
Empfehlung, Er, what, Ernung,
No, Ernährung.
Ernährung.
Yeah. Please wait.
A needs to stress.
Not, you don't have to stress. It's uh, again we'll have. I don't think we'll cover this, but there is this part where like how long do you have to stress a syllable or how short it should be.
Okay.
We'll try to cover this, but what I'm trying to say is
Yeah.
that if you have difficulty reading, just break. So this is the this was the homework from the first session, right? You have to get
Yeah.
hold of anything that you can read. Read whatever you want. Just read something. So
Garanite.
no, but please, you have to tell me the meaning as well, Narendra. So I think that's more fun.
Okay.
Meanings. If you can tell me.
Resnung means right, and lung means
No, no, no,
no,
no.
no, no,
Reshlung is
resnung.
check,
Check. What do you mean by check?
as in when you order and you ask him to bring the check,
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah,
the bill,
yeah, but
the
it's not
bill.
that bill. Yes, Manjusha, you know the meaning of Einladung?
Invitation.
Yes, thank you very much. Narendra, do you tell me what bedino is?
Bidding.
Bedino here, the third word.
It's bidding.
No, if you go to a restaurant and you are not happy, like in a restaurant, two things can go wrong. If the food, either the food is bad, what is the other thing that is bad?
Service.
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 Yeah, service. So bedino is service. Bedino also means something else, but for now, just go with that. Next word, please, Narendra. Bedino.
Mm, no, I don't know.
Something with mathematics.
Okay, calculation.
Yes. Yeah. Next word.
Okay. And mm, no, I don't know.
What is
And
the relation between Christopher Columbus and India?
map,
Yes, map, but he did
route,
something. If you have to use a verb, Christopher Columbus, blah blah, India,
Discover.
discover.
discover. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So the endakum. So these are all nouns, guys. So discover is the verb. Discovery is endakum. Okay. Continue.
And
Faro.
erfahrung. Okay.
On your CV, what is the most?
Experience.
Yeah, experience. Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next word, please, Narendra.
Zatung.
In the morning, what do I do after having tea?
Newspaper.
Yes. Yeah.
Newspaper.
Yes. Empfehlung, Narendra.
Empfehlung.
If you leave a company, what is the one thing you want for sure from your company?
Experience letter.
Yes, but not yes, but it's even better if you get someone more thing from your boss.
Good
Recommendation.
feedback.
Recommendation.
Reference.
Recommendation.
Recommendation. Okay.
Yeah. Next one.
As I am
I am
no.
giving. I